If you're over 60 and notice your arms or legs feel weaker than they used to, it may not just be normal aging. In fact, silent muscle loss, what doctors call sarcopenia, is one of the biggest hidden threats to senior health today. The surprising part? Muscle decline often begins long before you notice it. You might still be driving, walking, or gardening, but little by little, your strength slips away. One day, climbing the stairs feels harder. Another day, getting up from a chair takes extra effort. Many seniors blame this on age, but researchers now know there's more to the story. Your muscles are not disappearing simply because of the number of birthdays you've had. They're starving for the right kind of fuel. And while the wellness industry loves to sell powders, shakes, and miracle supplements, the truth is much simpler. Some of the most powerful solutions may already be in your kitchen, hidden in everyday foods. Today we're going to look at the grains that fight muscle loss naturally. These aren't fad diets or complicated routines. These are time-tested, nutrient-rich foods that seniors around the world have relied on for centuries to stay strong, independent, and active. So if you're ready to discover how a few simple changes to your meals can help protect your strength, reduce your risk of falls, and support your overall senior wellness, stick with me. This may be one of the most practical health tips you'll hear this year. After age 60, many people begin to notice small changes in their strength. You might feel more tired after grocery shopping, or your legs may feel heavy after a short walk. For some, it shows up as trouble lifting a grandchild, opening a jar, or climbing a set of stairs without stopping. At first, these changes seem minor, but over time, they add up. What you are experiencing may be part of a condition called sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 1 in 3 adults over 65 is affected by sarcopenia to some degree. It doesn't happen overnight. The process begins quietly, usually in your 40s and 50s, but accelerates after 60. By the time many seniors notice it, they may have already lost 10 to 20% of their muscle mass. Why does this matter? Because muscle is not just about looking strong. Muscle is what keeps you moving, balanced, and independent. It's what allows you to carry laundry, cook meals, get up from a chair, or walk confidently without fear of falling. When muscles shrink, so does independence. Think about Martha, a 68-year-old who loved gardening. Over the past year, she started noticing her arms felt weaker when carrying bags of soil. At first, she thought she just needed rest. But soon, she found herself avoiding the garden altogether, because even bending down made her legs tremble. Like many seniors, she blamed getting older, not realizing her body was losing muscle faster than it could rebuild. Or consider John, 72, who always prided himself on staying active. One morning, he noticed he had to push off the armrests of his chair to stand up. He brushed it off. A few months later, he began struggling to step onto the bus. By then, sarcopenia had already limited his daily life. The truth is, muscle loss is not only common, it is predictable. Unless you take action, the body naturally breaks down more muscle than it rebuilds after age 60. Part of this is due to hormonal changes. Part of it comes from reduced physical activity. But a big piece, one that many seniors don't realize, comes from nutrition. Your muscles are made of protein, yes, but they also depend on specific amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to repair themselves. Without the right fuel, your body simply cannot keep up. The scary part, sarcopenia doesn't just affect strength. It is linked to higher risk of falls, longer hospital stays, slower recovery from illness, and even shorter lifespan. What begins with small changes? Trouble standing, walking shorter distances, or losing energy can eventually lead to loss of independence. And for many seniors, that is the hardest part. The good news is that sarcopenia is not inevitable. Research shows that with the right lifestyle habits, including nutrition, movement, and hydration, muscle loss can be slowed, and in many cases, even reversed. And one of the simplest, most overlooked tools for fighting it is already at your table: the right grains. Muscle loss after 60 may start quietly, but the consequences become serious over time. What begins as just getting weaker can turn into a chain reaction that touches nearly every part of your health. That's why experts often call sarcopenia a silent thief. It steals your independence piece by piece, often without warning. 1. Loss of mobility and independence. The most obvious harm is loss of mobility. Muscles are your body's engines. They power every step, lift, and stretch. When they shrink, so does your ability to move freely. For seniors, this can mean simple tasks like climbing stairs. Bending down to tie shoes or carrying groceries become exhausting. Many start limiting activities, not because they want to, but because they no longer feel safe. And once you stop moving, the body declines even faster. Imagine this. Sarah, 70, used to enjoy daily walks with her neighbor. At first, she only felt tired after a mile. Then it became half a mile. Soon she stopped joining the walks altogether. What happened next? She stayed home more, watched more TV, and within months, she noticed her legs felt shaky even inside the house. That loss of activity accelerated her decline. This is the dangerous cycle of sarcopenia. Less strength gives less activity, gives even faster muscle loss. Without intervention, many seniors find themselves relying on canes, walkers, or even wheelchairs far earlier than expected. 2. Higher risk of falls and injuries. Weak muscles don't just make walking harder. They also affect balance. The CDC reports that 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls each year in the United States. Falls are the leading cause of both fatal and non-fatal injuries among seniors. And when sarcopenia is present, the risk skyrockets. Why? Because weak muscles means slower reaction time. If you trip, your legs may not catch you. You stumble, your arms may not be strong enough to break the fall. A simple misstep can lead to fractures, hospital stays, and months of rehab. For some seniors, a single fall is the turning point between independence and long-term care. And it often begins with unnoticed muscle decline. 3. Impact on brain health. Muscle and brain health are more connected than most people realize. Strong muscles improve blood flow and oxygen delivery to the brain. They also help regulate blood sugar, which keeps energy stable and supports memory. When muscles weaken, circulation slows, and the brain gets less of what it needs. Research shows that seniors with sarcopenia are more likely to experience cognitive decline and memory problems. It's not just about physical strength, it's also about staying mentally sharp. Think about Robert, 74. He noticed not only his legs getting weaker, but also his focus slipping. He would forget appointments or lose his train of thought mid-sentence. His doctor explained that reduced physical activity and weaker muscles meant less circulation, which directly affected his brain. Once he started improving his muscle health, his clarity improved too. 4. Strain on heart and immune system. Your muscles act like a reservoir for important proteins and nutrients. When they shrink, your whole system suffers. Weak muscles make your heart work harder to pump blood, raising the risk of cardiovascular disease. They also lower your immune defenses, meaning recovery from illness takes longer. Studies show that seniors with severe muscle loss spend more time in hospitals and face longer recovery periods after surgery or infection. What used to be a small setback, like the flu or a minor injury, can turn into weeks of bed rest. And bed rest itself causes even more muscle loss, creating another vicious cycle. 5. Emotional and social costs. Perhaps the most overlooked harm of sarcopenia is its emotional impact. When you can't do what you used to, frustration grows. Seniors may avoid social events, skip travel, or stop hobbies they once loved. Over time, this isolation can lead to depression and feelings of helplessness. Picture Mary, 69, who loved dancing at her local community center. When her legs grew weaker, she stopped going. She missed her friends, but she was embarrassed to admit that she could no longer keep up. Slowly, her world became smaller, and not just physically, but emotionally. 6. The bigger picture. So when we talk about muscle loss, it's not just about strength. It's about protecting your independence, your memory, your heart, and your joy of living. Sarcopenia may start with small signs, needing a hand to get up, skipping a walk because of sore legs, but the long-term harm is much bigger. Here's the truth. Ignoring sarcopenia doesn't make it go away. In fact, it makes everything worse. But the good news is, it's never too late to take action. Even small changes to your diet and lifestyle can slow down or even reverse muscle loss. And one of the simplest, most natural ways to start rebuilding strength doesn't come in a bottle or a pill. It comes from the grains you choose to put on your plate. Grain number 1, buckwheat, the gentle muscle builder. Many people are surprised to learn that buckwheat isn't wheat at all. It's a gluten-free seed that has been a staple in parts of Asia and Eastern Europe for centuries. For seniors, it may be one of the best-kept secrets for fighting sarcopenia. Unlike most grains, buckwheat contains all 9 essential amino acids, including leucine and lysine. These two are especially important for seniors because they switch on muscle repair signals that often weaken with age. Research in the journal Nutrients found that older adults who ate buckwheat protein daily gained muscle mass and improved recovery in just 8 weeks. Tom, 70, a retired mechanic, used to pride himself on doing his own housework. But lately, mowing the lawn or carrying groceries left his legs trembling. He thought he just needed more rest. Then his granddaughter, who was studying nutrition, cooked him a simple buckwheat porridge with cinnamon. Tom started eating it a few times a week. Within weeks, he noticed his legs felt stronger and more stable. After a month, he was back to climbing ladders without fear. Buckwheat also supports circulation because it's rich in rutin, an antioxidant that strengthens blood vessels. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles during activity and recovery. It's also high in magnesium and manganese, which calm nerves and support smooth muscle contractions. Another plus for seniors. Buckwheat helps stabilize blood sugar, preventing the energy crashes that drain motivation. How to use it. Buckwheat is versatile and easy to prepare. You can cook it as a warm porridge with fruit and spices. Toast it lightly for a nutty flavor in salads. Use buckwheat flour in pancakes or muffins because it's gluten-free and anti-inflammatory. It's especially good for seniors with arthritis or digestive issues. Start with small portions, about half a cup cooked, and gradually add it to your weekly meals. Buckwheat proves that sometimes the simplest foods deliver the biggest benefits. For seniors, it can be the gentle, steady support your muscles have been waiting for. Grain number 2, oats. Morning fuel for stronger muscles. When most people think of oats, they picture a simple breakfast bowl. But for seniors, this humble grain is far more than comfort food. It's a muscle-supporting powerhouse that deserves a permanent spot on your table. Oats are unique because they contain a rare group of antioxidants called avenanthramides, found almost exclusively in this grain. These compounds help reduce oxidative stress, a type of damage that weakens muscles as we age. Over time, oxidative stress can harm mitochondria, the tiny batteries inside your muscle cells that produce energy. By protecting mitochondria, oats keep your muscles recovering and repairing more effectively. A study in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition showed that older adults who ate whole oats daily improved muscle recovery by up to 25% and experienced less fatigue during resistance training. It's a major boost for anyone looking to stay active after 60. Take Joan, 66. She began noticing that her arms felt sore even after light chores like washing dishes. Her legs trembled halfway through her daily walks. Her doctor told her to just exercise more, but she barely had the energy. Her son encouraged her to swap her usual toast and tea for a bowl of oats topped with berries. Within days, Joan noticed steady energy. After a few weeks, she walked to the park and back without stopping once. Oats provide a steady stream of slow-burning carbohydrates, which give muscles long-lasting energy without spiking blood sugar. They also supply key minerals like magnesium and iron that directly support muscle contraction and oxygen delivery. On top of that, the beta-glucan fiber in oats improves gut health, helping your body absorb nutrients more effectively. How to use it? Warm oatmeal with berries and nuts. It's overnight oats soaked with milk or yogurt. Blend it into smoothies for a quick, filling breakfast. Choose whole or steel-cut oats, not the instant packs with added sugar. Half a cup daily is enough to start seeing benefits. Oats are proof that senior wellness doesn't require exotic foods. Sometimes, the right breakfast choice can set the tone for stronger muscles all day. Grain number 3, millet. Ancient energy for modern seniors. Millet is one of the world's oldest grains, yet it's often overlooked in the American kitchen. Light, nutty, and easy to cook. This tiny grain offers big benefits for seniors who want to protect muscle health and regain steady energy. Millet is rich in plant-based protein, magnesium, and phosphorus, 3 nutrients that are essential for maintaining strong muscles and healthy recovery. But what makes millet special is its high level of leucine, an amino acid that plays a key role in triggering muscle protein synthesis. For seniors, this is especially important because the body's signal to rebuild muscle becomes weaker with age. A review in Frontiers in Nutrition 2022 found that diets including millet improved lean body mass, reduced inflammation, and even boosted walking speed in older adults within just 6 weeks. That's a powerful result for such a simple food. Frank, 72, loved hiking on weekends, but recently he started avoiding stairs altogether. His legs burned after just a block of walking. At first he blamed his shoes, then his knees. His wife, who had been reading about muscle loss in seniors, swapped their usual white rice dinners for fluffy millet pilaf. Frank didn't expect much, but after a few weeks, he noticed he could climb stairs again without pain. By the second month, he was back on the trail, enjoying hikes he thought he had lost forever. Millet is naturally gluten-free and highly anti-inflammatory, making it ideal for seniors with arthritis or digestive troubles. It digests slowly, providing steady energy instead of sugar spikes and crashes. Its magnesium helps calm nerves and improve muscle contractions, while phosphorus supports tissue repair after activity. How to use it? Cook it like rice for a side dish. Mix it into soups or stews for extra texture. Alright, try a warm millet porridge with fruit for breakfast. Millet is living proof that forgotten foods can be the missing link in senior wellness. Easy to prepare and gentle on the body, it can help you stay active and independent well into your 70s and beyond. Grain number 4, sorghum, the hidden strength grain. Sorghum may sound exotic, but this ancient grain has been eaten for thousands of years in Africa and Asia. Today, nutritionists are rediscovering it as one of the most powerful tools for senior wellness, especially when it comes to rebuilding strength after 60. Sorghum stands out because it combines resistant starch, polyphenols, and antioxidants, a rare trio that not only fuels muscles, but also protects them from inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is one of the silent drivers of muscle loss in older adults. By calming this process, sorghum helps create a healthier environment for muscle repair. Even more impressive, sorghum improves insulin sensitivity, which means your body uses energy more efficiently. After age 60, poor insulin function accelerates muscle breakdown. A study in Nutrients 2021 found that seniors who ate sorghum daily improved muscle performance scores by 28% and reversed up to 2 years' worth of strength decline without adding exercise. Linda, 68, hadn't been to a gym in years, but she enjoyed short daily walks. Recently, her legs gave out after just 15 minutes. Her knees wobbled, and she had to stop halfway. A friend introduced her to sorghum, serving it in a salad with chickpeas and lemon. Linda began eating sorghum twice a week. Within a month, her walks grew longer. After 2 months, she could stroll the neighborhood without stopping, and even her doctor was surprised at her improved grip strength. Sorghum is gluten-free, non-GMO, and versatile. Its resistant starch supports gut health, which boosts nutrient absorption, critical for aging muscles. Its antioxidants protect tissues, and its slow-digesting carbs provide steady energy for hours. How to use it? Cook it like rice for a hearty side dish. Pop it like popcorn for a crunchy snack. Grind into flour for pancakes or flatbreads. For seniors who want to fight muscle loss naturally, sorghum is more than food. It's a shield against the very inflammation that weakens muscles over time. Grain number 5, quinoa, the ancient seed with modern power. Quinoa may look like tiny pearls, but this unassuming seed is one of the most powerful foods for senior wellness. Unlike most grains, quinoa is actually a seed, and it's one of the few plant foods that provide a complete protein. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids in a highly digestible form. 2 of them, lysine and methionine, play a special role in muscle repair and antioxidant defense. For seniors, that means quicker recovery, less soreness, and stronger tissues. A 2019 trial published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who added 50 grams, about half a cup cooked, of quinoa to their daily meals increased muscle protein synthesis by 15% and reported 20% less soreness after light resistance exercises. Results that many supplements can't match. Maria, 71, a retired teacher, loved her garden. But lately, bending down to weed for even 10 minutes left her with painful leg cramps. She felt discouraged and frustrated. Her grandson, studying dietetics, suggested replacing rice and beans with a quinoa salad. At first, Maria was skeptical, but within 2 weeks the cramps eased. After a month, she was back in her garden for hours, tending to her roses with joy instead of fear. Quinoa is also high in magnesium, which eases muscle spasms, and iron, which helps deliver oxygen to muscle cells. Its phosphorus content supports repair of tissues after activity. Another unique benefit, quinoa's lysine supports collagen production, which strengthens not just muscles but also tendons and joints. How to use it? Cook in just 15 minutes as a rice substitute. Add 2 soups, salads, or breakfast bowls. Rinse before cooking to remove its natural bitter coating. For seniors, quinoa offers a rare combination: fast cooking, easy digestion, and muscle-friendly nutrients. It's one of the simplest ways to support strength, recovery, and long-term independence. Grain number 6. Teff, the tiny grain with big muscle benefits. Teff is one of the smallest grains on Earth, but when it comes to fighting muscle loss, its impact is surprisingly large. Native to Ethiopia, teff has fueled generations of endurance athletes and is now being studied for its benefits in senior health. Teff is packed with iron, calcium, resistant starch, and lysine. For seniors, lysine is especially important. Most grains lack this amino acid, yet lysine is critical for collagen production, tissue repair, and rebuilding muscle fibers. A 2021 study in clinical nutrition ESPN found that seniors who ate teff-based meals 3 times a week increased mitochondrial density in their muscles by 30%. That means their cells had more power plants to generate energy, leading to better stamina without adding exercise. Walter, 75, was a retired track coach. He had always been active, but recently his legs felt like sandbags. He couldn't keep up with his grandkids at the park and came home exhausted after short walks. His daughter introduced him to injera, a traditional Ethiopian flatbread made from teff. Within weeks, Walter noticed a change. His legs felt lighter, and his walks no longer drained him. By the end of the month, he was back to walking the kids home from school without needing a rest. Teff's iron content helps the body make red blood cells, improving oxygen delivery to muscles. Its calcium supports both bone strength and smooth muscle contractions, reducing the risk of cramps. And because teff is gluten-free and high in resistant starch, it also supports gut health, helping seniors absorb nutrients more effectively. How to use it? Cook it into a warm porridge for breakfast. Blend teff flour into pancakes or muffins. Try traditional Ethiopian flatbread if you find it at local stores. Teff may be tiny, but it delivers big results. For seniors, it's like turning on a new energy switch inside your muscles, helping you stay active, strong, and confident. Grain number 7, amaranth, the sacred grain of strength. Amaranth may be small, but for centuries it was considered sacred by ancient civilizations. Today, modern science confirms what our ancestors already knew. Amaranth is a powerful ally for senior wellness and muscle health. Amaranth is a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids. But what makes it truly unique is its high content of squalene and bioactive peptides. These compounds help reduce inflammation, boost mitochondrial function, and directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis. That means amaranth doesn't just feed your muscles, it actively tells them to grow stronger. A 2020 study in Nutrients found that older adults who added amaranth to their meals for 6 weeks improved muscle strength by 26% and showed better balance scores. Many also reported fewer cramps and less joint pain. Carol, 70, once loved to dance. But in recent years, she couldn't even cross her living room without holding onto furniture. Her calves felt tight, her back ached, and she thought this was just old age. Then her niece gave her a bag of amaranth and suggested trying it as a morning porridge. Carol was skeptical, but within 10 days she felt steadier on her feet. After 3 weeks, she was stretching again without trembling. And by the end of the month, she rejoined a gentle dance class at her community center, something she thought she had lost forever. Amaranth's squalene works as a powerful antioxidant, protecting muscles from oxidative stress. Its magnesium and calcium support muscle contractions and bone health. While its iron helps deliver oxygen throughout the body, together, these nutrients keep muscles energized and ready to recover. How to use it? Cook into a warm breakfast porridge with cinnamon and fruit. Pop like popcorn for a crunchy snack. Use amaranth flour and baked goods for extra protein. For seniors, Amaranth is more than food. It's a natural strength booster that helps muscles stay flexible, joints stay comfortable, and daily movement feel easier. Grain number 8, wild rice, the muscle rebuilder. Wild rice isn't technically rice at all. It's a watergrass. But when it comes to rebuilding muscle after 60, it may be the most powerful grain of them all. Wild rice is unusually rich in leucine, an amino acid that switches on muscle protein synthesis. This is especially important for seniors because, with age, the body becomes resistant to this rebuilding signal. Even if you eat enough protein, your muscles may not get the message to grow. Wild rice cuts through that resistance. In a 2021 trial published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle, seniors who ate wild rice 3 times a week increased muscle protein synthesis by over 40%, gained up to 3.5 pounds of lean muscle, and improved walking speed, without lifting a single weight. George, 76, had always been independent. But recently, he needed a walker just to move around his home. His son cooked him a simple stew with wild rice, lentils, and spinach. George liked the taste and started eating it regularly. Within 3 weeks, he stood up without pushing off the armrest. By the second month, he no longer needed his walker. His legs felt alive again, and his confidence returned. Wild rice also contains magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, and even small amounts of plant-based omega-3s. This unique mix reduces inflammation, supports joint health, and keeps energy levels steady. Unlike white rice, which spikes blood sugar, wild rice digests slowly, fueling muscles for hours. So how to use it? Soak overnight, then simmer gently to preserve nutrients. Add to salads for a nutty crunch. Use as a hearty base for soups or stews. For seniors, wild rice is more than a side dish. It's a natural way to flip the switch back on for muscle growth, restoring strength and independence. Eating the right grains is a powerful step, but there are simple ways to make their benefits even stronger. Think of these tips as small hinges that swing big doors. For your senior wellness, 1. Pair grains with lean protein. Muscles need both amino acids and the signal to rebuild. Grains like quinoa or buckwheat provide that trigger, but combining them with lean protein makes the effect even greater. Try oats with Greek yogurt and berries, add beans or grilled chicken to a wild rice salad, mix lentils into millet or sorghum stews. This pairing gives your body the full building blocks it needs for recovery. 2. Stay hydrated. Muscles are about 75% water. Even mild dehydration can make you feel weak and sore. Many seniors mistake thirst for hunger or simply forget to drink. Aim for steady sips of water, herbal tea, or broth throughout the day. If you're not a big water drinker, adding cucumber, lemon, or berries can make it more enjoyable. 3. Gentle strength training. Food is the fuel, but movement is the spark. You don't need a gym membership to benefit. Resistance bands, light hand weights, or even body weight exercises like sit-to stands can wake up your muscles. Research shows that combining diet changes with even light strength training doubles the benefits against sarcopenia. 4. Protect your gut. Strong muscles depend on a healthy gut. The fiber in oats, sorghum, and wild rice already helps, but you can go further. Include probiotic foods like yogurt, kefir, or sauerkraut. A healthy gut means better absorption of the nutrients your muscles need. 5. Start small and be consistent. The biggest mistake is trying to overhaul everything at once. Pick one grain, one new recipe, or one short walk. Build from there. Consistency, not perfection, is what rebuilds strength. Remember, even small improvements in muscle health can translate into big gains in independence and confidence. These tips don't require expensive supplements or complicated routines. They're simple adjustments, the kind that fit naturally into senior life and help your body feel more alive, more energetic, and more resilient. We've covered a lot of information, but let's make it simple. Here's a clear checklist you can follow this week to start protecting your muscles and fighting sarcopenia. 1. Add one grain. Choose one new grain to try this week. Maybe buckwheat for breakfast or wild rice in a stew. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start with one. 2. Build a balanced plate. Pair your grain with lean protein. Think quinoa with grilled chicken, oats with yogurt, or millet with beans. This combination gives your muscles the best fuel for growth. 3. Stay hydrated. Keep a water bottle nearby and sip throughout the day. If plain water feels boring, add lemon or cucumber slices for flavor. 4. Move every day. Do something small but consistent. Stand up from a chair 10 times. Use resistance bands or walk around the block. Even gentle activity helps your body use the nutrients from food more effectively. 5. Be consistent. Muscle loss didn't happen overnight, and rebuilding won't either. The key is steady habits. Eat smart, move daily, and keep showing up for your health. Print this checklist or write it on a sticky note for your fridge. Every small action you take adds up to stronger muscles, better balance, and greater independence. Now it's your turn. Which of these grains have you already tried? Maybe oats at breakfast, quinoa in a salad, or wild rice in a hearty soup? I'd love to hear your experience. Which one feels easiest to add to your meals, and which one are you most curious about? Your story might inspire another senior to take that first step toward better health. So please, drop a comment below. We read every single one, and your ideas truly make this community stronger. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with a friend or family member, and subscribe for more senior wellness tips. Together, we can make aging healthier, stronger, and more joyful. This video is for educational purposes only and does not replace medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet or exercise routine, especially if you have chronic conditions such as diabetes, kidney disease, or heart issues. Our information is based on trusted sources, including the National Institutes of Health, Mayo Clinic, Harvard Health, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Your health journey is unique. Use these tips as guidance, but partner with your doctor for the best results.